Hey guys, welcome in. If you're new or just passing through to my channel, welcome. My name is Tam and I'm also known as the Enlightened Auntie. If you are returning, welcome back, squad. I am here today to do another general collective reading. We're not sign specific here, we're also gender fluid. I may say you when I'm talking to them. I may say them, I'm talking to you. Put yourself in the story wherever you seem to fit. Remember that time and energy are fluid, so I could be talking about the past, the present, or the future. Take only the parts that resonate and leave everything else behind. If you would like to book a personal more aligned with your story, my information is below in the description box. You can go straight to my website, EnlightenedAuntie.com, to book a session with me. I am currently running a special for live sessions for 1/11/11. Normally they run 155. Special runs until the end of November, so get in where you fit in. Also, if you're new here, you might want to go back into my archives about maybe 6 to 8 months and see if there's titles back there that may resonate more for you now, as some of my readings do tend to reach out into the future just a little bit. Again, that's why I take only what resonates in the present for you now, leave everything else behind, reach into the archives and see if there's something there that resonates more for you now in the present. All right, let's jump in and see what Spirit wants to talk about. I actually was going to go on camera with my pre-shuffle, but I just did not want to tell that story again. I don't want to tell that story again. So let's jump in. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody had a really good weekend. Let's see. What does Spirit want to talk about today? Okay. The energy that I'm getting off of this, off of these initial cards, it feels as though somebody is really going through, I heard the word turmoil. I don't really see that like visually. I don't see it, but that's the energy that I'm getting. And the reason why they're going through this kind of chaotic time right now is because they have, I kind of get the energy here that you may have somebody in your life that is in dire need, is what I heard. They're in dire need of some kind of assistance. You may have already kind of turned your back on the situation. You may have already begun your, your walk down that long corridor without looking back, right? I'm kind of getting the energy that somebody may want to drag you back into the fold simply because whatever they're going through right now, they're not trying to go through it alone. Um, which kind of puts you in a very weird spot because, like I said, you're already kind of you're moving forward and you're facing forward. You're not, I don't even see any, kind of like the sun is set on what's behind you. So I don't even think that you're kind of paying attention to anything that's been lingering in your past. But the center card here, it does feel as though somebody wants your help or may, think that they need your help. However, everything around this feels it feels like a very controlling energy. So pay very, very close attention to what surfaces. Now, having said that, calendarically, today is October the 28th. This is Monday. Outside of talking about moon cycles or anything like that, I do want to call to your attention the pre-shadow to Mercury retrograde, the last Mercury retrograde of this year. The pre-shadow starts on November the 7th. Okay, so we're not far out from that. It's 2 weeks away, and it's funny because as a Mercurial, like, I have found myself in the last like maybe 3 or 4 days on social media, and as I'm typing out like these, like little paragraphs of information, or even responding to certain things, I have found myself reeling all of my responses back and not even actually engaging, and just less is more. So it's kind of a reminder, and I should be reminding all of you, not everything requires a response from you. No response is a response. I'm just going to put that out there, okay? Do with that what you will. But I do kind of get the energy here that somebody is really struggling, but the reason why they're struggling is because they're resisting the change. They're going through some changes right now, and they're resisting it because they don't really like how it kind of feels like it doesn't they don't really like how things are panning out, and so because they're trying to control things, micromanage is what I heard. Since they're trying to control things, it just feels way more chaotic than it needs to. And they really feel like they need help. They need your help. I'm gonna reserve my comment. I have like whole dissertation going on in my head. I'm gonna just reserve my comment. I'll see what comes out with the rest of the cards. Look. Okay, so here's the thing. Oh. So here's the thing. Whatever this person did, especially if they were calling themselves trying to, kickstart a whole new life for themselves, it's not really going the way they thought it would go. I also get the energy too that somebody here, it's kind of weird. They may have taken some really hasty action, but did it in a way where they didn't really fear any kind of consequence, is what I'm hearing. Okay. If instead of me just reading out the cards, I'm just gonna give you the scenarios and I'm just gonna kind of guide you through them, because what I'm seeing here, I do feel like, and I'm also basing it on the cards that I had originally thrown before I even went on camera, because I kind of think it's all related. So you may have someone wanting to come towards you, attempting to love bomb you, and part of the reason why they're wanting to love bomb you, it's kind of like to, I want to say, play on a sympathy that may no longer exist. Like I've said in previous readings, like whoever you've, disassociated yourself from, they may have had a very narrow window in which to kind of save face, come back in and like correct things, right? And the time expired. They waited too long. They didn't come in. So now, you're pretty much all the way out the door. I'm talking to people who are like far removed. I'm not looking back. Regeneration is in the reverse. There's no second chance. I'm not even going to entertain it. I don't give a damn. I don't feel loyalties to you or the people that are connected to you. I'm seeing this in two ways. One, I do kind of get the energy of somebody potentially love bombing you. I would be very, very cautious of that. If you got somebody that comes towards you and starts love bombing you, I think that's the reason why I'm telling you about Mercury retrograde. The pre-shadow starts November 7th. Remember, I told you pretty much all of November and December are going to be tied into Mercury retrograde, baby. There are going to be some things that will be circling back. I have been predicting for months now that everything is going to be culminating just around the holidays. So we're here now. Okay. Now, as we get closer to, Halloween's about to be here in a minute. The veil is about to be no more. On Halloween, there's no veil. So if there have been some things that have been done in the cover of darkness, it's about to come out, and there's about to be a whole bunch of shifts and changes, and people are kind of getting this like scramble energy. It feels like they're going to be scrambling, trying to fix, repair, save face, all of those things. Okay, so just really pay attention and mind the way that you respond. Again, no response is a response. Okay, now I'm getting the energy here. I'm kind of feeling like this might be you. If you have an opportunity, if you have an opportunity to have some kind of conversation or communication, I do feel like you may be bearing it all. You may be telling exactly how you feel, how it made you feel. You're coming across incredibly transparent, but the bigger theme around it is that You are no longer exhibiting or displaying any type of loyalties to the people that you're walking away from. You're not giving them a second chance. You're not giving them a second chance. I kind of feel like even if these people were to come to tell you, you know, about something that's going on that you don't have any, like say you're not a party to it. This is so loaded. If somebody comes to tell you about something that you are not a party to, why? Because you're removed from it. If they come and tell you, like, hey, so and so is really having a hard time, blah, 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 blah. I'm kind of getting the energy here. You're communicating like, I don't really care. I don't have any loyalties to it. I'm not helping out anybody who, number one, was never loyal to me. And number two, I no longer have loyalties to anybody that I walked away from. Because while I was present, I didn't have any peace and I couldn't figure out why. And the reason why is because all these energies of these people, they were working against you. Okay. I think 2 or 3 readings ago, and I was saying like somebody may want to come back and reconcile with you, but they don't even really know why they want to be in your presence. I'm also kind of getting that too. It's kind of like they don't, and I'm also saying too, where if somebody here is dealing with a lot of chaos in their life, I think whoever this is may not really have a full grasp of why their life is in turmoil. It's almost like somebody who doesn't reflect on, they're not very what's the word I'm looking for, they're not self-aware. So it's almost like they don't really see that. It's like they don't understand. They just they see it as an experience. Yes, they're experiencing a bunch of chaos, but it's almost as if they don't fully understand why. They don't understand why everything is upside down. They don't understand why their life is playing out the way that it is and why they consistently find themselves in a space where they may need help from the very people that they were disloyal to. That's wild. That's wild. Listen, and part of the reason why, it's kind of like when you removed yourself, child, let me tell you, you removed yourself, you may have gotten some kind of downloads. You may have been like divinely led away from the scene, divinely led away from these connections, because God heard the conversations in those rooms when you were not present. Okay. And it feels as though the moment you walked away from the situation, because I definitely see opposite energies where I see chaos up here, but I see like peace, contentment, happiness down here. Things are coming into alignment. Somebody is definitely confused because they do not understand. I feel like you walked away from a relationship or walked away from relationships because you may have even found yourself very like at a crossroad or questioning like, why am I still dealing with these people or this person when we can't seem to see eye to eye? Like there's chaos and conflict talks about the tension of opposites. Like, you know, you guys think in, you know, very different ways. You feel different, like just everything about the connection. It's like oil and water here. Okay. And it's almost like, I think maybe at one point you might even ask yourself, like, why am I fighting to hold on to this relationship that just brings me, that may have also brought a lot of conflict and chaos into your life as well. Okay. And I feel like the moment you stop giving, the moment you stop feeding it, the moment you stop giving, because I'm also seeing here, it might not have been just the one person. It could have been a group of people that were all disloyal to you and who never gave you the same kind of energy or love or any of that you may have shown to them. Okay. But the difference between your lives is like night and day. You are very happy. You're very content. Your life seems to be, I don't know, lining up appropriately. I heard cloud 9, so maybe some of you are on cloud 9 because your life is going very, very well. But again, it's like you heard the call. You heard the call. And whoever this is that heard the call that they heard is, do not give these people another chance. Do not give these people another chance. Damn. Well, and the way that you saw it, the way that you see it now, you might have been bending over backwards. And I know for a fact that I know I was. You might have been bending over backwards at a time to kind of show people, like, almost like trying to show people your value, or to show them like how you are an asset to their lives. I bet you they never did the same for you. I bet you they never did. I bet you they never did. And here's the thing. I like that regeneration and mending are both in the reverse. We know what that means. There's no energy here supporting any kind of reconciliation. And the reason why is because you had to take certain actions in order to kind of get your life back on track. And part of that action was walking away from these people. Why on earth would you go back? Why on earth would you go back to entertain it? Soulmates in the reverse. Go the distance in the reverse. Mending in the reverse. And I'm kind of getting like a really weird, like, gaslighting kind of energy here, because it almost feels as though the person or the people that you've walked away from, they're really only seeing it from their narrow lens. They're only seeing how maybe at one time you were very, very giving. They only noticed the moment that you stopped giving. The moment you stopped giving, it became an issue. But they don't take any issue with the fact that they were not as generous or as giving as you were to them. That's insanity. I'm sorry. That's insanity. And the connection wasn't faded. I think you might have been doing all this work trying to make it work, trying to, like I said, trying to show your value, even though, listen, these people, and I've said this too before. Oh yeah. I think the card even came out after I even already said it. It's kind of like you're definitely seeing like the history of the relationship. You could kind of look back and see all of the things and all of the ways that these people have benefited from having you as a part of their life, not the other way around. And I feel like in order for them, based on what I'm seeing right here, it's kind of like in order for there to be some kind of reconciliation, somebody would have to put in a hell of a whole lot of work. A whole lot of work. And it's interesting because I feel like, collective, you may have seen, and I know I've said this before, it's kind of like you knew what you were dealing with, but I feel like you operate from such a place of like love and openness and transparency that regardless of how people may have shown up, you were able to see what you were dealing with. You may not have seen their demons in full glow, but you may have already kind of known, like, everybody puts, I wouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people, they put on, they have a facade that they carry around with them as their representation. And you may have had the ability to see beyond the facade. You saw who they were and you love them regardless because you're unconditionally loving. So you still operated from that space. But now you are definitely, when I say you are definitely in an energy of not giving a damn. I don't see you wanting to go the extra mile. I don't see you putting in any effort because I don't think the effort is yours. It's like if they wanted to be a part of your life, then they would actually have to show you that they want to be a part of your life. They would actively have to do something in order to be a part of your life. If there's something here that that they weren't doing, there was some deficit in the relationship, they'd have to clean it up. They'd have to clean that mess up. They'd have to clean the mess up. Especially if this was related to a soulmate connection. Soulmate's not always romantic, but if this is connected to a soulmate connection here, like, you don't have any desire to keep giving to it. You have, like, what I'm seeing here, you have no desire to give to it. It's like, I don't give a shit what's underneath that mask. I'm still not giving to it, right? And if you want to be a part of my life, if you want to hold any kind of space in my life, you would have to prove your loyalty. You would have to actually give of yourself, and you would actually have to work damn hard to show me that you deserve a space in my life. Period. Now, for some, I think part of the reason why you may not be entertaining, there's something here that is definitely connected to your past, or this person could be connected to your past. Something that they have done in the past may be the reason why you are choosing not to re-engage. I'm also kind of seeing too, this relationship or the relationship dynamic, it's not in alignment with either one of you, so it doesn't really matter. Part of the reason why somebody, part of the reason why somebody is so unhappy and their life is in chaos and turmoil. Okay. Let me explain to you this way then. So you may have, because I kind of think this is like a 2-part lesson here. Okay. Not just a lesson for you, but a lesson for the other people that are involved as well. So for you, collective, I feel as though this may have been something very cyclical between you and this person or these people. So I'm happy to inform you that you have broken the cycle. There's no need to learn this lesson. There's no need to go back and, relearn it or anything like that. You've learned everything that you needed to out of this cycle. You can proceed. Okay. I feel like this person is definitely upset because I don't think they anticipated you to do like the healing work or anything like that. I kind of get the feeling that this person's upside down because they're still living behind the mask. They're unhappy because they're trying to control, their own fate and the fate of everybody around them. And God is kind of balancing things out right now and making them fair. So the fact that you have learned your lesson, especially, I'm saying, this person may want to come towards you expecting some help. And I just had like a whole flash in my head of an incident that happened to me 20 years ago. Yeah. 20 years ago. Where the last time that Aries North Node, Libra South Node was in play. Same energy. And I almost can guarantee you, if you go back in, if you allow this, if somebody comes to you and expects some kind of assistance from you and you agree to it, it's literally going to put you right back on the hamster wheel that you've been trying to get off of. And they still on that bullshit because they're not happy and they're still wearing a mask. So there's that. Okay. Yeah, they're freaking out now because your life seems to be in the present. Your life seems to be like kind of evening out. Pay very close attention to the red flags as they present themselves. See, they want you to continue going the distance with them. They want to kumbaya with you, but here's the thing. They're very concerned because they're not sure if it's like they want to, I feel like they want to come towards you to kind of pitch is the word I heard. They want to come towards you because they do need help. But I do feel as though this is somebody here who may be ruminating because they're not really sure how to approach the situation. They're not really sure how to approach you. So they're kind of hoping if they come in, remember I said like if they come in love bombing, I would definitely just automatically, those are red flags for me. But it's kind of like if somebody it kind of feels like somebody wants to come towards you to, like let's kumbaya and let's squash the beef or whatever. But like I said, there's no actual energy here that supports any kind of reconciliation. That energy doesn't exist here. And what they're really afraid of is like your life. It's like your life is really starting to take form. It's like really whatever healing work you've done, whatever new path you're on, whatever you're pursuing, it's really starting to take off. Your life is starting to like really even out in a really good way right now in the present. And they're stressing. Okay, thank you, Spirit. They're kind of stressing because I do feel like somebody wants to kind of latch onto your coattails. Don't leave me behind is what I heard. It's funny. I didn't have I when I was shuffling the cards, New Life in the reverse was face up. I put it back on the deck because it's not appropriate for me to pull it this time. But it kind of gives me the sense that this person's life, like the only reason, based on everything else I saw around it, literally the only reason why they're wanting to come towards you is because, again, they want to slow you down. They want to keep you on the hamster wheel because they're on the hamster wheel. How many times I got to say misery loves company? These miserable ass people want all the company that they can get. It's not your responsibility. You see what's underneath the mask. That's the reason why you've chosen to distance yourself from these people. And you're not doing anything else for them. You're not giving to them. And while it may be very unorthodox for you to kind of like walk away from a situation, particularly if they're family, again, there is no energy here that supports any kind of reconciliation. And they're holding on. Somebody here is really holding on. They are not trying to go. They're holding on and praying. Holding on and praying that you'll actually stay. Their time has run out. And now they need to start thinking about their next steps. They need to start thinking about what they're going to be doing, what they're going to do next. Now that there is, like I said, no energy of supporting a reconciliation and you're not coming towards them or anything like that, they need to start thinking about what's next. Yep. Oh, this is funny. I love how these cards come out. All right. So, like I said, I kind of feel like the time has run out for them to try to come towards you. Again, if they wanted to be a part of your life, if they truly believe that they have to be a part of your life, they absolutely have to. They're going to have to work for it, period. And the thing is that you've already retracted all of your energy. So you have no loyalties to them anymore. I have it down here again, like somebody definitely, they're hanging on because, what did I say? They're hanging on now that I'm looking at these cards and the way they're connecting. They're hanging on to you because the people that they had aligned themselves with when they weren't choosing you have abandoned them in the present. So now they're out here by themselves. They have nobody and they're praying and hoping that if they stick around, they hold on tight, that you'll actually come in and save them. But the thing is that in order for you to even entertain it, they would have to do a whole lot of work to correct the problem. And I don't see them doing that. So literally, they're going to have to go learn how to go with the flow. They're going to have to learn how to go with the flow. They don't really have a choice at this point. They don't have a choice. Listen, unrequited love for people that were not team players. And you're like, I'm standing on business. I said what I said. This thing is permanently over, and I'm choosing new cycles, new opportunities. And I love myself too much to go back and entertain a bunch of people who were never supportive to me, to go back and entertain people who never really showed me any kind of love or grace. Nah, we're not doing that. Yep. I think in the past, maybe in the past, you may have given of yourself in such a way, in such a really trusting kind of way, that it was really like almost borderline foolishness. Almost. And because you've been through so much at this point, like I do get the sense that you are very guarded now. Because of everything you've been through, there's no victory and success with this situation. Somebody may be also getting some negative public press for past actions. You know, it's kind of funny. It kind of feels like somebody wanted to come back toward, even if somebody were to try to come back towards you to, like propose a new cycle or whatever. I kind of feel like this person has very little to give. And okay, enter the witchy woman. All right, so while I do have some energy here that does feel very emotionally manipulative, I do get the sense here that somebody was maybe manipulating the energies around you, or to attempting to manipulate the energies around you to create or cause endings or disruptions, or like mental mental prison is the way I heard it. Yeah, there is something here that somebody did in the past. Or they may have tried to affect a relationship or connection from your past without any success. I think in the last reading I mentioned, like, if there was a relationship, and okay, this is partying for everybody, but if there was a relationship that somebody may have tried to like manipulate to try to create a breakdown or something like that, what they ended up actually doing was like kind of permanently ending the connection with like a karmic, and it sparked a whole new cycle for the collective and their partner. Yeah, and they're stressed out about that shit. You know what's interesting now that I'm looking at these cards? I feel like somebody here, they did something. It does have to do with resources. But it failed. And so now, if there was somebody doing some type of juju over your resources and finances, it backfired. It failed. It failed and they're stressed. They're stressed. Yeah, there's somebody here that was trying to. Well, that's coming to light. Okay, listen. It's coming to light too. So, if there had been some kind of, now I'm seeing what could appear to be a form of theft, that is very possible. But if somebody had been trying to keep secrets and tell lies, kind of around this financial opportunity, or some type of an inheritance or something, or the loss of either. The truth is about to come out. It's getting ready to be illuminated with the sun and the Ace of Swords right next to this tower. I kind of feel like, oh, wow. Now, I also get the energy here too of somebody. If there was somebody out here on this board, I could be talking to anybody, but if I have somebody out here who happens to be an entrepreneur, and if you're not an entrepreneur and you're just very financially stable, very, very stable, it kind of feels like somebody, okay, well, I'm seeing a lot of stuff here. Okay. Follow me. For those of you who launched a business or were thinking about launching a business, and say maybe things kind of went sideways somewhere down the line and things, did not go the way that you expected them to, but you still have managed to like really, you've gotten it off the ground, and the fruits of your labor are starting to finally, materialize. If you found that you had a couple of like hits and misses early in, I do feel like you were being influenced. There had been some type of influence here. Either somebody paid a practitioner, or somebody did something in the background to like cause failure, public failure. I don't think that this person anticipated, and whatever this is, it could have been like an idea that you may have had from the past. Like maybe you've done whatever this is. You could have turned, like, say, you turned a hobby into a business. It's something that you've always really enjoyed doing, something you've always loved, right? I see a lot of perseverance. And here's the thing. I was listening to a podcast earlier this morning, and it was they were kind of talking about how, fear of failure is really an ego thing. But a lot of times, for those people who like think way outside the box, who take risks, who take chances, and I think it was a spiritual podcast, because they were kind of talking about the fool's journey, and they were relating it to tarot. And the fool's journey, it's really like you don't have any fear. You just, and not to say you have no fear, but you do things even with the fear in your heart. You're just still going to take that chance. You're still going to think outside the box, and you're going to try it. And if I fail, then, oh well, it's a lesson, so that I just know I won't do that shit again, right? But it kind of feels like here to me, like somebody may have attempted to try to put an end to whatever it was that you were doing, or to prevent you from actually succeeding. But what they didn't expect was for you to continue to persevere. It's kind of like, and I'm going to say my North Node is in Aquarius, and I'm incredibly detached to any kind of specific outcome. I will just throw a bunch of stuff on the wall and see which one sticks. And then whatever sticks, we go in that direction. If it doesn't stick, we just throw it away, and we just, go back to the drawing board. And it kind of feels like something here was done that may have been done under the cover of darkness, that is going to be illuminated, especially if somebody here was trying to affect your work, or trying to affect, your business or something like that. If they threw money at it, if they stole intellectual property, because I'm kind of seeing that too. If there was some type of intellectual property theft, all of that, and you lost money at the same time, I do see illumination coming out. Okay. And that is absolutely going to create a tower for somebody. Okay, let's see here. Yes, this witchy woman, it's connected to her. The tower, 9 and 10 of swords. Uh-huh. And then, yes. Okay. So the connection to the people that they were working with, all falling apart. Like, if other people work together, and it's out of pure jealousy. My God. Out of jealousy, people came up behind you trying to compete with whatever it was that you were doing and foolishly decided to go against you to attempt to put an end to whatever it was that you were doing. It's giving, I can do it better than you. But they don't know what they're doing. Somebody here is trying to avoid an ending to their resources or what they have available as resources. They're trying to prevent that from being dried up. They've been trying to block your intuition. Like I said, somebody didn't expect for the collective to boss up. They did not expect you to just keep going. And what I'm seeing here is growth, honey. You're exhibiting, excuse me. You're exhibiting growth that they did not see coming. They got to let you go. They have to let you go, or somebody needs to tell the truth. Potentially an earth sign. Something is being illuminated. Could have something to do with a fire sign. Somebody thought that they could block your intuition permanently. Or, and it's not, and if it's not your intuition, I mean, I usually look at this card as more of an intuitive card, but if it's not your intuition, it's kind of like whatever they've been hiding or trying to hide, they thought that they would be able to get away with it permanently, but it's being illuminated here with illuminate, the sun, and the Ace of Swords. Yes, and the moon in reverse. So it is getting ready. It's being illuminated. Somebody was trying here to keep something covered. It's a failure. And also, if you're out speaking, like if you're speaking or you're, I don't know. I mean, I don't have anything out here that says like, oh yeah, this could be a public platform. It's almost like they want to keep you quiet, or they want to try to like, yeah, it has something to do with your work. So it's kind of like, and they weren't successful anyway, so it doesn't matter. But it's almost as if somebody here wants to, they want you to shut up. They want you to shut up. Oh, look, deceit in the reverse. So there are some lies coming out about this bond that you may have had, potentially with a fire sign. Obfuscate is also in the reverse with illuminate right here next to the fire. These are both touching the fire sign. So this fire sign and this deceit, these are all together. So definitely there's somebody here in that you've been in connection with bond. They've been trying to like hide this or whatever, but it's coming out. Whatever lies have been told are being illuminated. Somebody is afraid. Somebody is afraid of what you know. Ooh, life in the reverse. So there also could be somebody here that maybe, oh, failure. Bottom of the deck. So, and the cycle, they were trying to keep the cycle going. I think I said that earlier. Like somebody was trying to keep something going, but it's a failure. It's coming to an end. It's over. Somebody made their life a whole lot more complicated. They wanted you to stay asleep. But they just, all they did was they just made a bunch of complications within their own life. All right, let's grab these kippers. I haven't touched these in a little bit. Courtship. Lovers. Occupation. Toil and labor. Mature man in the reverse. It's kind of giving me here a relationship with a man who maybe, okay, there may have been a relationship here where somebody may have passed. There was a message here. Somebody may have written while they were, I heard, on their deathbed, but this could have been somebody here who may have been ill. Somebody who could be suffering from bad health. Somebody could be suffering from bad health now. Somebody may message you, may want to message you about them being in bad health. Somebody may be at risk of losing their home. Sudden wealth and the house in the reverse. Somebody may have, and they're in despair. They didn't expect it. Okay. Main female. All right, so we have, I don't usually use these cards in the reverse. Hold on. Oh, they're all in the reverse. Oh, no. The deck is upside down. I was like, oh, wait, they're all in the reverse. No, the deck is upside down. Okay, so it looks like I see a bunch of stuff here. It's like somebody's in bad health that may not have expected it, but there's a message here about a relationship that may have, like a long-term relationship that may have come to an end. Like maybe one person in the connection may have passed. It could have been this mature man. There definitely was a house here in question. There's a house and some sudden wealth here that somebody is maybe afraid of losing. So somebody here is thinking about or worried about imprisonment. Damn. They may have gone to a priestess. Somebody here may have gone to a priestess. They could be a priestess. Great fortune. This looks kind of like that storyline. Yeah, message of concern. This kind of looks like that storyline of occupation out here. So somebody may have been in bad health because of their occupation, because of whatever they do for work. Okay. So, okay. So this privileged lady may be losing her wealth or whatever wealth she had, and she may have to work. So she may not work now, but she may have to. Because I feel like there's a message here of great fortune left by this wealthy man. I feel like, I'm just looking at the images on all these cards. I kind of feel like this man may have been partnered with this woman. Okay. I feel like he may have thought about the relationship. I don't know what timing this is, but he may have really thought about the courtship or how their relationship, like, how it started or whatever, and kind of like what their relationship looked like as a whole. But I kind of get the impression that this privileged lady, if this man passed, this privileged lady thought she was scot-free. Like she was going to take this fortune and this home or whatever. She was going to live nice and going to be on this path all by herself. And she wouldn't have to share the money with nobody. But now she's worried because, again, I feel like this child, this money may have been supposed to, like, it may have been allotted for this child or allotted for somebody to have a whole new beginning, right? But I think this person, somebody here is worried about being imprisoned or being put in jail behind a house and some money. And what they're worried about is the blossoming of someone else. So it's like if you've evolved, collective, the way it's looking, it's kind of like there may have been something here left for you, and it probably would have changed your trajectory tremendously. It would have changed your life. But instead, you've just worked. Like, I kind of get the impression, based on the way these cards are laid, it's almost as if this man could have been a father, could have been an uncle, grandfather, whoever. But this man, this mature man, wealthy man, is somebody here who I kind of feel like this is somebody who had, like, they worked until they couldn't. Okay. But I kind of feel like this man did something in a way where he would, so that this child, his child or his children would not have to work as hard as he did to accumulate what he had. I also don't feel like whatever this fortune is or whatever this house, I don't think you collective ever had any expectation of receiving anything. You don't expect anything with this butterfly, with expectation both in the, I have two expectation cards out here, both in the reverse with butterfly here. So it's kind of like whatever this is, you don't expect it to come, but it will absolutely allow you to flourish and blossom into a whole, like literally giving you a whole new life. This mature man, yes, look, sudden wealth, was supposed to go to somebody else. And he was looking, look, this house, this woman, an inheritance at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so the way that I'm looking at this, it kind of looks like somebody got into a relationship. And I feel like this man, he did this to protect his daughter. He may have done this to protect his daughter. But I feel like this privileged lady used this money, used this house as a means to kind of just protect herself. She felt entitled to the house and the money because she was his wife. And you wouldn't have been in despair about losing money you never knew existed for you. You know? Yeah. All right. Let's get some index cards. What is it? 2:22 on the clock. All right. Gold digger. First card out. Somebody's using children. An older woman involved. An uncle uncle or uncles could be involved. Wolf in sheep's clothing. Their actions are causing a shitstorm in their lives. The month of March may be of significance. Pisces or Aries could also be involved. Your silence is loud. We have a distorted feminine. Somebody's releasing burdens for good. Amen. Your family members are involved. Spirit says sage your home. Somebody does things for attention. The month of December may be of significance. Could be dealing with a Sagittarius or Capricorn. Somebody says, I know you're angry with me. Someone was a ringleader. Somebody has a fear of moving forward while you have no fear of moving on. Somebody has sex without love, and Aries may be of significance. Illness is part of somebody's karma. Collective, you are the alchemist. Somebody's angry that their attempts have failed. The month of August may be of significance. Could be dealing with a Leo or a Virgo. Somebody purposely misled you to keep you confused. Again, an Aries may be significant. Somebody has greedy, selfish, and entitled behavior. Somebody says, I have more tricks up my sleeve. Somebody projects negative energies toward your children. Divine timing is at play. And someone has a sex addiction at the bottom of the deck. Return to sender. That's right. All right. So as far as the zodiacs are concerned, I've got Pisces, Aries, Leo, Virgo, Sagittarius, Capricorn, a distorted feminine, older woman, children, uncles, family members, and somebody in that family is a ringleader with a sex addiction. Yeah. All right. I'm going to leave it there, guys. If any parts of this reading resonate for you or give you clarity or confirmation over your own story, please give the video a thumbs up so we can circulate it into the algorithm and get this in front of the eyes that need to see it the most. If you would like to book a personal more aligned with your own story, all of my information is below in the description box. My books are always open. I invite you to join me for a session. Go straight to my website, EnlightenedAuntie.com, and book a session today. Thank you guys so much for all the likes, shares, subscribes, tip, donations, and super thanks. I appreciate all of them, and I appreciate all of you. Until next time, take care. Bye.